Hello everybody and good morning. Welcome to the Top Producer Show. And we are going over the book, If You're Not First, You're Last by Grant Cardone. And we are on chapter 4 today, which is the most effective call to advance and conquer. But before we jump into that chapter, we're going to go ahead and invite some people onto here. Alrighty. Here we go. So our mission with this show is to educate and equipped and trained servant leaders. Our vision is to create financially independent achievers, and our purpose is to help people grow. So this is one of the books that we picked out that it's a good one to go through, because if you're in sales Grant Cardone has a lot of books that are good with sales, but really if you're in any type of business for yourself, he does have some good points in here. So the most effective call to advance and conquer. So personal visits are the single most powerful method by which you will ever make contact with a client and are guaranteed to advance your position in the marketplace. So it would take about 10 phone calls to equal one outcome of a personal visit. Now, back when we can actually get together, because now due to this pandemic, we're advised not to get together in groups. We used to do a lot of lunches and coffee. So whenever we would meet somebody, we would spend time with them and go get lunch. So it's not necessarily just popping into their work or their business all the time, even though depending on who it is, we would do that. Just to pop in and say hi, not to have any type of agenda of trying to sell them, but to build that relationship. But people who break bread together also work together. So we'd like to take people out to lunch. We would buy lunch for them and be like, hey, just take a look at this, and build up that relationship. And since we mainly work with leads with what we do, if people meet us over the phone, if they're local, we'll go meet with them for lunch or get coffee, just so that way they can see the person, because some people are very hesitant when they first meet somebody over the phone, and they're like, I don't really want to get started. Like, what if this is a scam? I don't know this person. Seeing a person face to face actually really does help with that. And now with things the way they are, if people still want to come meet with us, we'll go meet with them right now. We don't have an issue with that. But right now, a lot of people are doing stuff online and becoming really creative. Like, I've been seeing these like virtual coffees now, where everybody's jumping on a Zoom or a conference call. Yeah, coffee. And somebody on our team actually did this. Andrew Feiner, he was talking to a lot of leads, and he's like, okay, great. Now that you looked over all the information and you understand what it is that we do, the next step is to sign up. He's like, do you want me to send you the link, or do you want to jump on a conference call and we could do it there? That way we can see each other face to face, and like, so that way you know I'm here and we can do it right there, and I can walk you through the process. And a lot of people are a lot more comfortable with that. And in a way, the pandemic was nice because it got people more comfortable with jumping online and jumping on a Zoom or a conference call. And now it's become the social norm. And so people have had to get creative with how they're getting in front of people to be able to do that. So when you want something bad enough, you will do whatever it takes to make it happen, including ignoring social norms and acceptable behaviors in order to get your products and services known. The marketplace, particularly in a contracting market, will only reward those who are willing to do whatever it takes. So remember, when you're going to use the information collected during your check-in call, which is what we talked about yesterday, checking in with the person, seeing how they're doing, and on this personal visit, whether it be at someone's office or going to grab something to eat, there are a lot of reasons why people don't make this call. One of them is that we are socialized not to go to extreme measures in order to get what we want in life, and you are basically programmed. You and I are basically programmed to be reasonable and logical, which is suppressing in this case, rather than unreasonable and logical, which is a good thing in this case, and willing to do whatever it takes to create success. This is the main reason why people do not go after the things that they want. Because with everything going on, everyone's taught to, we need to contract, we need to put money away, we need to prepare for a rainy day, rather than pushing harder to make things go faster. So economic hardships really make or break a business. You can either sit and do nothing and hope somebody else fixes it, or you can fix the problem yourself. She wants to be on the show too.
Yep.
So, the economy does not have any dire states in order. It does not have to be. Oh, the economy does not have to be dire stats in order for people to have financial problems. You see this every day. Even in a good economy, there's always somebody who's struggling. So economies, therefore, don't determine your success. Your actions do. So individuals and companies suffer because they refuse to do whatever it takes, and people suffer financially because they are unable and unwilling to get in front of enough people in order to promote themselves and their services. You'll see an example of this. Have you ever seen a guy who is dating a gorgeous woman, and she's obviously out of his league, but somehow he actually managed to end up seeing this person? So the reason is he was unreasonable and disregarded the things that most people considered important, and because of that, he ended up with the gorgeous lady. So having the confidence to go out and really make things happen is more important than what you think of yourself, than what your insecurities are. But just going out and having that, going out being positive and confident will make up for everything else. Because just like a guy who's dating a gorgeous woman, that's how that happens. It's confidence. But you have to, and sometimes you almost have to fake that until you actually feel it. You have to keep saying, rather than saying, oh, I have anxiety, I'm insecure, I'm not that great looking, I'm this, I'm that. Rather than saying that, you have to say the opposite and say, I am good, I am good enough, and I can do this, until you get to the point where you start to feel it. Sometimes it's a lot of self-talk first before you actually start feeling it. So personal contact is both the most effective and most feared kind of all sales. So it's also the fastest way to separate yourself from your competition. So you want to be willing, especially during economic slowdowns, to take extreme actions in order to offset the pullback. And often the action only seems extreme because people are conditioned to wait for something to happen rather than to make something happen. And you'll see that a lot right now. So that is basically what Grant had for the chapter. And it's just getting creative with how are you going to get in front of people to have that personal touch, because a lot of people don't want to be too close right now because of this whole social distancing thing. But honestly, we just ask people and we're like, look, are you comfortable with meeting, or do you want to get on a conference call? Because if they're local, like, we'll go meet them. Most people want to go meet who they're working with, because also there's some things that are just easier to teach in person. And we like to go out and eat. We're like, we go out to lunch every day. Would you like to go get lunch this week? And honestly, so many people are starved from not being able to go out and visit with people. Everybody's been like, I just want to go out just so that way I can be out. And I'm like, okay, come on out. We'll go do something. We'll eat some good food and we'll talk about some business too. So that's what I have for this chapter today. Jeff, do you want to add anything?
I mean, that's the main thing about getting a hold of people. You know, sometimes it's you think you're getting a hold of people because you're online. You think you're getting a hold of people because you're connected somehow through social media. And the reality is you haven't talked to them in years. You know, I mean, it really has been years. I actually, one of the guys I grew up with, I saw him online, you know, and I mean, it was chatting kind of, but not really chatting. And you know, the unfortunate part is health-wise, he had a health issue, and I had a friend who died, and I thought I was in touch with all these people, and it was a real wake-up call because I realized I really hadn't seen or talked with this person in years. Thomas is here. What's up, sir? I hadn't seen this person in years, and he died without me being able to say anything. And you don't, you know, and I hate to be like morbid or anything, but like, you don't get a second chance, guys. It can't, you know, some things shouldn't wait till later. You know, there are those people that are on your list, but more like in your friendship realm, that you're living through social media and you're not actually making any connections. And you need to go out of your way to go, you know, talk with these people. You need to go out of your way to actually have conversations with these people. You need to go out of your way and set up a time. So I kind of set up a schedule of, you know, going through and just, they used to call it, you know, touches. I learned this, I don't remember where, but they talked about shepherds. You know, the shepherds would stand in the middle of the field, and I didn't know this, but they said shepherds will stand in the middle of the field, and the sheep will actually come up one at a time and kind of just like brush by the person who's kind of their protector. They kind of instinctively know, hey, this is the person who's probably going to help out if something goes wrong, and they will actually brush up. So I kind of like, here's what I know. Your people aren't going to come to you. You have to go to them. And that was one of another lesson that I got in direct sales from a gentleman who made millions of dollars in the industry, is he said, go to the people. He's like, that's my whole speech. Go to them. And when they don't show up, he's the funniest guy. He's passed away, unfortunately, but funniest guy. He would show up. He showed up at this one guy's house, and the guy like acted like he wasn't home. So he had his like windows off and everything shut off. So this guy Dave goes back to his car. He waits like 30 minutes, and he waits till the lights come on, and they peek through the window, and he's at the window like face to face with him. He's like, wow, you guys are here, thank God. And then, you know, they open the door. It's like the funny, he's like, they didn't get in, but it was hysterical story. Don't do that, by the way. You'll freak people out, especially now. Like, you know, if you're creeping around in people's bushes, you know, people aren't real favorable of that. So that's what we got. That's what we're doing. Just go out and actually make contact with people. Mm-hmm. What else?
I think that's it. So if you guys haven't yet, you want to go to the Top Producer Show Facebook page, and you want to go join that page, and also go follow us on YouTube. Each one of these videos is going to be uploaded to there, so that way you guys can follow along and go back and take notes. Also, if we ever do a special training, you're also going to be able to find it on there as well, because that is going to be something that we will be doing, because we will at some point be doing the 10X conference is going to be coming up. Is it next month? Mm-hmm. So we might also have some notes or some things that we're going to be discussing from that as well, because with doing this show, we're not only just going to be going over books, we're actually going to be taking things from seminars and also bringing it to you guys of what we got out of it. So you want to make sure that you follow us there as well. So that is what we have for you guys today. and we will see you tomorrow.